Picking your own homegrown raspberries is a real treat in summer. You'll often see two different types being sold, autumn fruiting varieties and summer fruiting ones. As the name suggests, autumn fruiting varieties crop later in the season. This is because they fruit on new shoots that are sent up in spring. These first year shoots are called primer canes. In contrast, many of the summer fruiting varieties produce their crop on the previous year's shoot. These shoots are called floricanes. You can tell the difference because they're much woodier and less flexible than the primer canes. It sounds complicated, but it doesn't need to be, so long as you know which type you're growing. Whichever type you choose, you'll still need to plant them in the same way. Back in March, I planted these autumn fruiting raspberries called polka. Raspberries are usually supplied as dormant bare root plants, and provided that the soil isn't frozen or waterlogged, they can be planted at any time from November to March. Raspberry canes are best planted in a sunny spot on fertile, well-drained soil. Before planting, it's a good idea to dig in some organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure. Dig a trench or individual holes and plant them at a distance of 40 to 60 centimetres apart. Once planted, cut the canes down to 25 centimetres from the ground. This will encourage lots of basil shoots to be produced. By mid-May, the raspberry canes are sending up new shoots. These will grow to a height of around 1.5 metres and give us fruit this autumn. By early August, the canes are flowering, the bees are pollinating and the berries have already formed. So by the end of the month and through into the autumn, we'll be able to pick some delicious homegrown fruit. Like all autumn fruiting varieties, polka is sturdy enough that it can easily support itself. However, the trees behind me are causing some shading and making the stems lean towards the sun. So I've put in some supports to keep the stems growing upwards. If you're growing a summer fruiting floricane variety, then you'll definitely need to put in supports. Put in a sturdy post at each end of the row that stand about 1.5 metres above ground level. Fix 3 wires horizontally between the posts, spaced at about 50 centimetres apart. The canes can then be tied to the wires using soft twine. Raspberries have fairly shallow roots, so it's important to keep them well watered, particularly during the summer months. You can also help to retain moisture in the soil by spreading a thick mulch of well-rotted manure or compost around the base of the plants while the ground is still moist in spring. Keep an eye out for suckers that are more than 20 centimetres away from the base of the plants. These can be dug up or pulled out. As the fruits begin to form, it's a good idea to cover your plants with some netting to prevent birds from stealing the crop. By late summer, you should be picking your own homegrown raspberries. Of course, if you planted summer fruiting floricanes this spring, then you'll need to wait until next year for the canes to become mature enough for the fruit to be produced.